Hi everyone, this is Selvi. Today's interview question is how to optimize the time for daily stand-up meeting or event. We already discussed about daily stand-up meeting in our previous episode, and we also have one more episode related to the best practices. In this episode, I am going to discuss about what are the measures or practices that we can use so that we can manage the time in a proper way. In other words, we can also say that how to ensure that we are not extending the meeting time. So some of the points may be also related to the best practices what we have shared, but this episode is completely going to discuss about the key points related to time. First thing about the participants of this event or the meeting. As Scrum Master facilitates this event, we need to be really careful who all are the participants. Why it is important means when more and more participation, there are chances the discussion may get deviated, or there is a chance that it also gets the meeting time gets extended. But we need to gather the right people. At the same time, if we feel that someone is not required but some action items are coming on their name at least for 2 to 3 days, okay, let's invite them. No, that should not be the case. Sometimes I can give the example. There is a team member or team lead who is working on cloud related activities. He's from a different team or she is from a different team. But as the sprint execution is getting carried with cloud related activities, why can't we involve that person also in the stand up? No, he or she is not part of the team. Maybe some of the blockers or some kind of dependencies or some of the topics we may need to discuss with that person, but it doesn't mean that we need to include that person. Then how to manage that? That is the Scrum Master's work. So if team is raising certain concerns that should be managed by that person, Scrum Master should own that responsibility or take that action item and talk to that person and get it done. So we need to ensure whom we are inviting for the meeting. If for only one day or one particular instance a person is required, do not encourage them also to be part of that meeting. There are chances that meeting may get into a kind of different discussion altogether. So better to avoid that situation. This is the first thing, participation. Preparing participant list is very important for this meeting. Ensure who all need to be available in this meeting. Again, only Scrum Master is the facilitator. The ownership or the responsibility of this meeting always is with the team. Even if Scrum Master or product owner is not available, they are optional participants. Team should conduct this meeting. So we need to be really careful in adding the participants for this meeting. Second practice, as we all know, this is not a status meeting. This is a collaboration meeting. So when I say this, what it means is, if, for example, a project manager or product owner is available in the meeting and they are asking how much percentage of the work is done for this requirement, what percentage is completed, what percentage is pending, what are the topics that still we need to cover for this requirement, or how we can look up the plan for the future. These all things are not to be discussed in this meeting. This is not a status meeting or planning meeting. So if anyone is putting these kind of questions, Scrum Master should help them in explaining this is not a status meeting and this is a collaboration meeting. So what are we expecting? What are we planning as an agenda for this meeting is, it's very simple, only 3 topics. As a person, I am going to say what I have done yesterday, what I have completed. When I say this, maybe other team members may be interested on that topic because that is a part of their integration module, or whatever the module they are working, this also has some kind of impact. Second topic is what I am going to work on today. This may be interesting for others as well because they also can plan, okay, Selvi is working on this topic today, so maybe tomorrow I can get this module because some piece of work can be reused in my work, or I can plan the integration activity, or I can plan some kind of the code that what Selvi is working today may be integrated day after tomorrow, or that kind of plan, that kind of collaboration we are expecting. At the same time, we will also be able to understand what piece of work is done, where help is required in the team, where I can support, where I can look for support. These all things we are looking. As a team, we are looking for whether we are able to meet our committed sprint goal. Any place, any kind of support is required for my team members, where I can contribute my support. Those things we are going to get out of these two questions. And third one is any kind of dependencies or blockers I am facing. Is there any kind of challenge I have which is blocking my work or which may block my work? That part also we are discussing. So these three topics alone need to be shared by everyone, and this is not a status. It is more for team collaboration alone. And this will help us to understand where we are as a team, whether we will be able to catch up the plan, what we have committed as a goal for the sprint, whether any support is required, whether anywhere I can support. All these things, any roadblocks are there, or are we anticipating any kind of issues or impact because of the impediments? These all things we will get to know as a team. So this is not a status meeting. So anyone, if they are taking the topic towards status, as a Scrum Master, you should explain to them that this is not a status meeting, this is just a collaboration meeting. So we are not here to discuss on what is the status of the requirement, what is the status of this particular sprint. No, that's not the whole idea of the topic or this meeting. So this is a second point. It's not a status meeting, it is a collaboration meeting. Third thing, always encourage team to use parking lot. What is parking lot? Of course, I may have certain topics to discuss with my team members, but I know very well that this is not the meeting to discuss on that. But at the same time, I want to express that there is a concern. Maybe not today. I may be foreseeing some kind of issue coming in my work, or some kind of dependency, or some kind of support I need from my team members. I want to express that concern. So you can put it in the parking lot, and if you know whom you need to take support from, tag that person or assign that task to that person. If not, you don't know, please mention that I am not sure, but I need support from the team. If you put this point well before the stand-up meeting, team is aware that you have something to discuss after this meeting, so they will stay. If someone you are tagging that you know that this person can help you, then that person can stay and help. If you don't know who will be able to help, people who are aware of the topic or knowing or having some details about that topic, they will stay after the stand-up meeting and you can continue the discussion. So it is always good have parking lot, not to discuss on the daily stand-up meeting, but after that meeting. Next topic is, this is not a meeting to discuss on technical topics or look for solutions. What happens here is, if someone is having a technical problem or some kind of challenge, team members start getting into the mode of troubleshooting that and trying to find solution and asking for some kind of alternate options or workarounds. No, this is not the place to do all those kind of analysis and work. Instead, what you can do is, like, if you have some kind of issue like that, please express that as part of your dependency or blocker, that I have a problem like this and I need support from, if you know the person, you can say that I need help from Selvi. Or if you don't know, I have a problem like this, I want whoever can help me out, please stay after the stand-up meeting, I can have a quick discussion. So this will help only those people to stay after the stand-up meeting and discuss. And that should not be a long discussion. It again depends on the people who are going to discuss about that. But at least not all the team members will be participating in that. They will be just completing their stand-up and they will be back to their work. Only the people who needs to discuss about this particular topic, they will continue the discussion. But it is not a part of your daily stand-up meeting. So in that way, you are not going to take everyone's time during the stand-up meeting by discussing this topic. Instead, you are going to only stay after the meeting and discuss with the relevant people, and it is going to help others also to manage their time. So this meeting is not to discuss on the technical topics or any kind of solutions. It is all about sharing only those three topics what we have discussed. That is only our agenda. Anything apart from that, we need to ensure we can only express that in the meeting, so that others means team members are aware of what is happening. They can support you after this meeting. The next one is from product owner side. If product owner is participating, sometimes what happens, product owner starts explaining the priority changes, whatever the updates that he or she received from product management team, things getting changed on the scope, things getting planned for the upcoming sprint. No, these all are not the things that need to be discussed here. If there are any scope changes related to this particular sprint, yes, of course, at the end of the stand-up meeting, you can say that very well. So the team is aware of that there are some changes in the current committed goal. Whereas if something is coming in the future sprint, or something is getting changed for the product backlog with respect to priority or with respect to some requirements, those things need to be discussed as part of the backlog refinement meeting and not here. So if product owner is taking some time explaining all these things every day as part of the product management updates, please ensure this meeting is not for that. So if there are anything that is coming as part of these kind of topics, you need to stop. You need to explain to the product owner not to discuss these topics in this meeting, and just to use the right medium, that is the backlog refinement meeting, to discuss about the updates from product management. The next thing is daily stand up. Why are we standing? There is a purpose. So that is also related to time. There are many reasons behind that. I'm going to also touch upon that. The first thing is, if there is a meeting, we won't specifically mention we need to have this meeting in a meeting room, or if we have to discuss this by standing, or if we need to discuss this by just standing in front of the table. We won't mention those kind of things in any of the meeting. We'll just say, yeah, there is a meeting and you people need to gather. But why are we specially mentioning daily stand-up meeting? Just because of the time. As I mentioned, every event is a time-boxed event. So we need to really ensure all the timekeeping activities Scrum Master should do. If anything that is deviating the topic, or if any member is taking the meeting and hijacking the meeting to a different agenda, as a Scrum Master, you should act as a timekeeper here and be very cautious about the time that is getting used, because we are taking time from each and every team member, and we have planned all our work considering how much time we have, how much capacity we have. If we keep spending our capacity only on the events or the meetings, then we will be in trouble. So the first thing is, we need to really ensure as a Scrum Master, we are doing the timekeeping job for every event or meeting. So now coming back to this special word called stand up in this event, daily stand-up meeting. Why are we actually standing up and doing this meeting? First thing is, it should be a crisp and it should be a time box meeting just for 15 minutes. So if we stand, our focus is just on the meeting and we will not get deviated, because we will not be able to stay long by standing and conducting the meeting. So this is going to be a short and crisp meeting which is going to happen for just few minutes. So we are going to stand. So it is like in both ways. As we are standing, the meeting will be quick. As we are looking the meeting to be quick, we are standing. And the second thing is, if it is a face-to-face conversation, standing means it will be much better. You will be just standing in front of your physical board. So if you want to move any stickies around the board, it will be very quick. As if you are standing, you can go and explain, or you can move the stickies quickly. And the third thing is the prime focus. and the deviation will be very minimum or zero if you are standing and having this meeting, because you are not in a very comfort situation of sitting. You are just standing, and you are completely going to focus on what is happening in this meeting. That are the main reasons why we are conducting this meeting by standing. So all these factors give a very important weightage that this meeting should be crisp and this meeting should be quick. And it is very important that we should manage the time, because this is happening every day. If we get into a habit of prolonging this meeting every day for 30 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, then as a team we are going to waste so much of time. Why I'm saying waste? Because maybe for someone it is beneficial, not for everyone in the team, but we are making everyone to wait, which is not required. So we need to be really, really mindful that, are we sticking to the agenda? Are we only talking about the points that we need to discuss in this meeting? Based on that, we should plan. Whatever things that are out of this plan, we should take it in a separate way. How to take it? That are the points we have discussed. Do not encourage this as a status meeting. Please ensure who all are the participants. Ensure that you have a parking lot so that any topics that are out of this agenda and you need to discuss with your team members are highlighted in this parking lot. And you are just standing so that your prime focus is on this meeting. And you are knowing that this meeting is just for a quick and crisp way. That's the reason I'm standing and my focus is on this meeting. And no technical discussions and no updates from product management or no other high level topics that need to be discussed on other events are highlighted here, which we have different events, different meetings that are already planned to manage those. So we need to be very clear on what are the things that we are going to discuss here. That is only the agenda topics. So if we plan in this way, definitely we will be able to manage the time that what we have planned for the daily stand-up meeting. And it is also very important that we encourage the team to completely align with the agenda and not to deviate from the agenda. I hope this episode would have helped many of you in conducting your daily stand-up meeting with respect to time management. Thanks everyone for listening. Happy learning and stay tuned.